YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, back on Total War Rome 2, and this is Game 2 of the finals of Attila the Great's tournament. It is between Armenian King and Danko, both good players. If you have not seen Game 1, go back and watch that. So I'm telling you now, if you haven't seen it, go back and watch it. If you listen for a few more seconds, I'm going to give away what happened, so if you haven't, go back and watch it. Okay, now, for those of you who have watched it and you're ready for the next match, Game 2 is interesting because now Armenian King has chosen Armenia, and Danko has, I believe, I don't know who picked first, whether it was Danko or Armenian King, but one way or the other we ended up with another Parthia Armenia, except this time Armenian King is Armenia, and Danko is Parthia. Let's hit play. And interesting enough, Armenian King struggled with an infantry-heavy build in match 1, and he brings another infantry-heavy build. This time he's just got more cavalry to back it up. So that really surprises me, and we'll see how it goes, because honestly I would have been a little more weary than this because of what happened to him in the last game, getting picked up by that skirmish-heavy army from Danko. But maybe he figured since Danko went skirmish-heavy last time that he wouldn't do it twice in a row. And that may have been the mindset that led to this pick. I don't know. Let's see. Axemen, Axemen, Axemen. So it looks like 6 Axemen. And it's going to be 2 Noble Blood Cav, 3 Eastern Cataphracts, and 1 Royal Cataphract where the general's at. And there are 2 Armored Horse Archers. So he's using the same Horse Archer pick that Danko did last time. Now Danko has brought Parthian Horse Archers. Interesting. So they have the 40 missile damage, but so does the Sarmatian horse. I honestly can't remember what the big difference between Parthian horse archers and the others are. So I'm not sure what the idea behind the Parthian horse archer pick is. If you're more familiar with the Parthian horse archers, let me know. I can't remember how they stack up against Sarmatian horse. Could be better morale. I'm just not certain. Anyway, it's going to be hard for Danko to get a whole lot of kills against the Armored Horse Archers, but again, the Parthian Horse Archers with their 40 missile damage are going to be going against basically the increased armor of the Armored Horse Archers, and then they have lesser damage on their missiles, but of course not as much armor on the Parthian Horse Archers, so it's kind of a trade-off between missile damage and armor. And the Parthians should still be light missile cav. Very light missile cav, so they're going to be considerably faster. Oh, Danko's not going to want to get hit with those shots. Let's take a look at the rest of Danko's army. So he has 2 Parthian horse archers, 3 Eastern Cataphracts on this flank, 3 mercenary hoplites backed up by a Parthian foot archer. On this side he's got 3 Persian hoplites, Royal Cataphract, 2 more Eastern Cataphracts, and another Parthian foot archer. So less skirmishers for Danko this time, more infantry. Hoplites can hold out for a pretty considerable amount of time versus Axemen, and they could potentially win. The Persian hoplites, not so much, I don't think. And if the hoplites did win, it would probably come down to morale and health, where the hoplites are just better in that regard. But the Axes do have nice armor piercing, and I'm not sure about the armor piercing value on these mercenary hoplites. If they had an elite spear, it would be a lot better, but they do not, or else their their weapon damage would be 30 if they had that elite spear. So again, just a lot of skirmishing going on here, and Armenian King's actually getting the better of Danko at the moment because his armored horse archers are helping shield his men from damage, and he's getting some shots in. This Parthian foot archer is now in a great amount of danger here. And Armenian King kind of acts like he's not sure whether he wants to charge or not, and he does at the last second. Danko let that archer get a little too far away. But the Armored Horse Archers are going to take a lot of damage. Well, let's look at the kills. They are up to 59 kills. If they rout, though, I'm not sure if it'll be worth it. But he's also got the Parthian foot archers wavering. They are going to stabilize, 60 kills. And it has drawn the Cataphracts out where he could potentially get shots on them. He does have heavy shot on, and he is firing at the Cataphracts, so that's actually not a bad plan. So a decent play there by Armenian King. But these Parthian foot archers are out here firing at the Armored Horse Archers, and they are causing damage. The Armored Horse Archers taking a lot of damage now. And I don't think that either player probably wants to end up in a position where enemy Horse Archers can pick at their Cataphracts, so there's still two Parthian horse archers with decent numbers around. So we'll kind of see how this continues to go here. Neither player is advancing in the infantry department. It's like they want to skirmish, and it looks like Armenian King has now split up his army to match the flanks of Danko. And Danko has, that's interesting why you leave a gap in the center of your army. I suppose that whenever you have a really mobile power force like cataphracts, leaving the gap's not as big of a deal, because I mean, what's going to punch through there really? Armenian King's own cataphracts would get countered by these. Infantry's not going to want to go through there. They get pummeled by cataphracts. So, I mean, I definitely can see why it's not as big a deal in a sense like this. And sometimes some players may want to leave the center of their army open on purpose to try and draw, say, like a high-value enemy target in, and that target may take fire from skirmishers or be charged by cavalry. So, it's a potential use as well. Let's see, so... yeah, it looks like the skirmishing is going to continue. Some of you don't like tournament playstyle. I saw a few comments. Most of you seem to really enjoy seeing the tournaments. I enjoy seeing it too. And some of you be like, oh, why do you enjoy it? You don't play the game like this. You're right, I don't. I don't play the game the same way as these guys. Why do I enjoy it still? I enjoy it because it's fun for me to see how different people with different thought processes and approaches to the game play it. How they're able to... succeed versus, you know, how I enjoy playing the game. That's just interesting to me to see why people play the way they do. And let's think about this cavalry thing. So Armenian King, the two noble blood cav can potentially be handy if they can get into cataphracts that have already used their charge. Otherwise, the cataphracts are going to damage the noble blood cav pretty badly. Noble Blood Cavalry are very good, though, in a grind-out fight. Even against cataphracts, they would be fairly handy, again, as long as they didn't eat the charge from the cataphracts. Infantry-wise, the Persian hoplites will definitely lose to the axemen, and then Armenian King has these couple of extra spearmen as well that could be handy, but of course, Danko's got these two Parthian foot archers, which could pour some damaging volleys. They do have precision shot, and maybe targeted on a cataphract or a Noble Blood Cav, they could cause some pretty impactful damage. 75 kills on this armored horse archer, not too bad. 33 on the other. 26 kills there, 18 here. So each player's horse archers damaging each other. And it looks like Armenian King is going to slowly move forward here. You'll notice that a lot of the players in tournament battles are patient enough to walk their troops a lot until they get closer, because the fatigue is not good. You don't want your units getting fatigued and then engaging. So... looks like kind of in and out of a waiver. Cavalry can get really, really thrashed, even with low morale, and they do not rout easily. It seems like something that probably should have been tuned in a little better, but cavalry can stay on the field with almost no men left in the unit. Okay, so Armenian King again slowly pushing forward. Let's just go ahead and fast forward, because there has to be an engagement here soon. And Danko's not going to move because he has skirmishers, so that's why he wants to sit here. Plus his units are more defensive. They have hoplite wall. That's interesting. He's going to pull back. Acts like maybe he wants to skirmish a little bit. Danko just throwing in his horse archers here against the armored horse archers. And this unit looks like it still has ammo and he's still firing. So it looks like both players content to kind of let the horse archer play finish. Okay, let's see what's happening. Sorry, kind of got off kilter there with my mouse. Armenian King's rushing in. Looks like he's meat shielding with his eastern spears. Danko's got his hoplites out front. Potential cataphract charge incoming here. No counter charge by the cataphracts of Armenian King, so a lot of kills going to come in here. He is going to engage afterwards. Almost an engagement on the other flank. Let's see what's happening here. Cataphracts racking up a lot of kills here. Now these Noble Blood Cav getting getting into this engagement over here with the Eastern Cataphracts, that's going to be very handy for Armenian King. Infantry are going to absorb a lot of the charge of the Cataphracts, and the Noble Blood Cav coming in, that's going to really help Armenian King as well. Royal Cataphract charge incoming. Let's see if we get a lot of kills here. It looks like they were charging into enemy Cataphracts. They're probably not going to rack up a ton off the charge. So let's see, Axemen wavering already for Armenian King. Over here it looks like the infantry fight's going to stabilize a little. Noble Blood Cav getting into the Parthian foot archers, but then being charged by two different cataphract units. It's going to die pretty quickly. But it did help tip the scales in favor of Armenian King's cataphracts. Armenian King's Royal Cataphract coming in. It is under fire from the Parthian foot. They have already used precision shot at this point. So the Royal Cataphract General of Parthia is in a little trouble here in my mind. But not necessarily, because the Persian hoplites are actually doing very well right here and can probably lend a hand in that fight. So this may not be a good engagement for Armenian King at the moment. Does have a Noble Blood Cav in reserve to hopefully, he's probably trying to keep these units from breaking through. This is interesting. So Danko, I don't know if he was charging these cataphracts or if he was trying to charge through the axemen, but he was coming in through his own men. He was probably charging these cataphracts because they're now dropping some. It's hard to say. This fight doesn't look real good for Armenian King at the moment, but there's a lot of battle left here. Both generals still alive, though the general of Armenian King taking considerably more damage. Noble Blood Cav here is going to do okay. Hopefully they don't get tangled in with those hoplites, though, because that would be bad for Armenian King. Charges down the center, Eastern Cataphracts charging Eastern Cataphracts. More Eastern Cataphracts coming through towards the Royal Cataphract General of Armenian King. If he loses his general, it's going to be very bad. Not a rear charge. It looks like maybe a little bit of a misclick here. No, he's probably going for these axemen here that were on the flank. So yeah, he's going to get some kills there for sure. So I honestly still think this is looking better for Danko at the moment. A lot of Armenian units off the field, but let's see what's happening. So Danko's losing cataphracts to Noble Blood Cav over here. Royal Cataphract's getting a good charge on the mercenary. Well, no, it looks like they're trying to get around the mercenary hoplites here and get a charge into this fight from behind. They're being pursued by an Eastern Cataphract unit. And the archers, the Parthian archers, are killing some of the Armenian cataphracts, and that's going to be a big deal. But all the Armenian infantry is now gone. The axemen couldn't hold. The hoplites held better, it looks like, in this case. And Danko is going to take game 2 as well. So if Danko wins the next game, then it will be a victory for Danko. So he is taking game 1 and 2. Both of those were in the eastern faction realm here. Both times Armenian King relying on a more infantry-heavy army. Well, I say that. The amount of infantry was pretty equal in this one. But still, it seems like these skirmishers kind of still paid off in the end for Danko. They didn't get a ton of kills, but I mean, even a few kills on cataphracts here and there can be a big deal. Not a bad use of his armored horse archers here for Armenian King by any means. It just looks like the cavalry of Danko ended up getting a lot more kills, and Armenian King's cavalry was somewhat limited in its success, and then his infantry just was not able to hold out against the enemy infantry. So anyway, good game to both players. So that is 2-0 for Danko thus far. And of course, I will be back soon to bring you more from the results of this final. So will Danko take it in the next game, or will Armenian King keep the series going? Hope you all are enjoying it. I know I am, and I will see you soon.